You're listening to Russell Prue on Bett Radio, broadcasting on the Anderson Tiger Radio Network.
It's my pleasure, great pleasure, to introduce my next guest on Bett Radio. It is John Crockford. He is the co-program team manager for Performing Arts and Music at Newvic. That's, of course, the posh name for Newham Sixth Form College. John, thank you so much for joining Bett Radio.
It's my pleasure to be talking to you.
Ah, bless you. Now, we've just interviewed two of your fabulous students, just absolutely cracking performance, and they're very creative. Can you just tell the listeners a bit more about this programme of this enormously exciting programme you've got going there?
Yeah, absolutely. We do level 3 BTECs in vocational courses. We do music technology, and these guys are also some of them on the performing course, so they're doing an A-level course, so they'd be doing a vocational A-level called a subsidiary diploma. The advantage being that we can engineer and devise interesting projects through so that they can expand their skills through interesting outcomes. And this covers live music, so performance, but it also covers clearly music technology, sequencing, recording, studio work, and live work as well. Mm-hmm. What's interesting is the development over the last few years, more and more marketing and kind of, the whole holistic angle coming in as well, awareness of the industry, not just sort of copyright and that sort of thing.
No, important. Absolutely right. And with an ever-changing industry, an industry that is very 21st century, that is very downloadable industry, and it's not about pitching your talk to a record label anymore. I mean, I picked both of these pieces of work from School's record label. So both of these artists are now selling their work on the open market.
That's right, yes. I mean, there was a very interesting sort of venture that I followed my nose into, really, and got more and more interested by the concept, whereby this record label based down in the southwest of England, seemed to be very concerned about the students, and the whole idea of them learning in a pretty non-threatening kind of way, and that they have control over their music, but they get to be involved in charts and rate and listen to other people's music, and indeed sell their stuff, and attach a price to their stuff, give meaning, value to it.
Absolutely right. And what also impressed me, John, about both of the two gentlemen we interviewed was their confidence levels and their ability to express themselves very coherently. These were not just pure artists that have just done everything in a very closed silo. They're very worldly, if I can use that language. I'm really, really impressed with it's up to the listeners to make their own mind up, but I know the listeners will be really impressed with the confidence levels and certainly the language levels of your students there.
Well, that's good. I mean, hopefully that's partly the kind of rounded education we try and give them at Newvic. We're a really mixed community. The music is mixed, but we have lots of different layers and contacts, within the industry, that we try and impart an openness and a realism to the students as well. The idea of being entrepreneurial and being open-minded is pretty close to my heart, and certainly I know a lot of the students, they are ambitious. They are not necessarily coming from the most wealthy, privileged backgrounds, and certainly actually far from it in most cases, if you know East London and Newham in particular. So, but their creativity is amazing. They're used to improvising, thinking on their feet, as well as learning kind of the theory and the nuts and bolts. It's an exciting program, and they're exciting students to be with. I've been there for 4 or 5 years, and in Newham sort of 8 years now. So,
wow. Have you seen a difference? Have you seen a trend, a growing trend, either in student numbers or opportunities, or where this work actually takes them? Have you seen some differences?
We do, and there are opportunities and there are threats as well. Obviously, in today's climate, I was talking last night to some people, some students who are now at uni and who come back to our college to do for a presentation evening. Mm-hmm. They were talking about all the different courses, the outcomes that this course had given them. Some of them were doing performance-based, some doing kind of electronic, acoustic, electroacoustic music. I was doing studio recording and production. Most people, when they think of music tech, think about, it's just, I want to be a producer or I want to, whatever. But actually, the range of skills you need to create a viable career or to give yourself opportunities is so vast that that you need to be quite open-minded and
versatile,
and open for collaboration.
And versatile. I think you're absolutely right there. Absolutely right.
And these students are definitely up for collaboration as well. They were excited by the idea of the school record label, as much as we were. The idea that there was a real-world outcome there, that they could learn some of the process. The idea of speaking to you was really exciting for them. The idea that they have a real presence out when their music is mixed and mastered, and they can learn skills and learn it. And make mistakes and learn from those, and maybe the marketing or the image behind the track, or they start to get the whole picture. That's amazing. That's a really nice idea. You're not just saying, imagine it's a record company. It is a record company that is out there.
And they're being marketed as an artist, as would be for any other record company. What's the next step for these students? Where do they typically go on from you?
They typically would end up either going and doing work in London. We've got quite a few students who kind of do sort of session work and then combine it with short courses, or they typically go on to do university or college, either HNDs or often it's degrees, and that'll be in everything from music production, music technology to performance. And artist management and events management and that sort of thing. There are more and more courses reflecting the diversity of the careers out there, and there are some. It's quite diverse. There are challenges, as I hinted earlier. Actually,
yes.
A lot of parents, don't necessarily see creative subjects, and I'm not just talking about music here, as a viable career path, which is ridiculous when it's one of the major areas of employment in the country overall.
Absolutely.
Creative industries.
And will continue to be.
Absolutely. There is a difficulty getting the message across sometimes, particularly in this economic climate. There's a retrenchment and people feel, I have to do accountancy or business and ignore the creative stuff. No. And what's nice is these guys are being business-like, entrepreneurial, and showing creativity as well. I think that's a really important message for everyone, that keep your creativity going, whatever course you're doing, whatever you want to do in life. But these guys happen to be doing it full time, and they're so into it.
Brilliant. Well, it really does show in their work. And John, thank you very much for your time. I'm very, very grateful. Cracking students, keep going at it, and keep in touch, because I'd like to just follow their careers and see how they get on. And if I can do anything else for you in the future, you call on me again. I'd be delighted to interview them. Just really good, and I'm very grateful. Chatting live here with John Crockford, who's the co-programme team manager and performing arts and music at Newvic. John, thank you so much indeed for joining Bett Radio.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.